So what's your take on it?
I think for me, it is the mental health part
Mm-hmm.
because you're dealing with little people who has their own little emotions, um, and you have to manage that. Plus, you have to manage finances. Plus, you have to manage your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you have to manage, everything else in the house. So, for me, when I think about the question,
Yeah.
um, I feel like parents don't openly speak about how they mentally feel because
Mm.
they think they should have everything together.
Yes.
They believe that, you know, like you said, my mom and dad raised me. They raised me and they never complained.
Mm.
So I shouldn't complain.
Yes.
But it's hard. It's very hard. And I'm speaking from a place where I love building and I want to be more and do more. And I always knew I wanted to be a mom. Like I always, I like as a young girl, I knew I was going to be a mom and I knew I was going to be married. Like I just knew it. Like that was my thing, right? Um, but what I didn't know was the in betweens. I also wanted
Mm.
to be a successful realtor. I wanted to be a successful principal.
Mm.
I want to run a successful business.
Yes.
I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to work for a company. So there's so many things I would like to do, but you can't do everything. And so that's why for me, I think the thing we don't speak about enough is sacrificing everything
Mm.
so that we could do the one thing.
Yes.
So the opportunity cost of having kids is not being able to do exactly what you wanted at that particular time
Mm.
because you need to make provision for what's currently happening now. So that for me was
One of the
well
things.
is definitely a
Yes,
thing.
and I guess especially now in our economy today, as it stands, moms don't talk enough about how they have to raise a child, especially if you want to give your child the best, what they have to go through, what they have to sacrifice, and sometimes parents, I think we all go through things in life, and you have the smile on your face, and that's why I don't really ever like I've trained myself, and I'm learning every day that it's not always wise just to judge the next person because you might not know what they're going
Yeah,
through,
yeah,
and what are the reasons why they made the decisions they made.
yes,
So moms, tend to hide behind that facade, that smile. No, I have to have it all together. What will my family think of me?
yeah,
What will this person think of me? And it's really not good. My husband knows if I want to say something, if I want to speak about something, I say it openly because instead of bottling all of these
yeah,
emotions up and feeling a certain way, and at the end of being a miserable person, I tell him that this is how I feel now at this point in time. It might not be a feeling that I'll
yeah,
have, but I need to let it out. So I
yes.
don't think moms speak enough about how they feel
Openly,
openly, because they're
yes,
so scared of the judgment
yes.
they will receive from the next person.
That's
And
a
I mean, we are
fact.
human at the end of the day. We just need to move. Um, and like I said in the beginning, also, and just ask the guidance from God, just to
Yeah,
guide you through that process. But at the same time, don't feel so pressured in being this superwoman when you know
yes.
that there's a lot that that's
There's
at
a
stake.
lot at stake.
Yes.
I love that, and I know that this is actually the end of our conversation. But I have a special question for Naya,
Yes.
and it's sort of an extension of this. Have you ever felt as though you didn't want to be a mom anymore after becoming a mom? And that's a very difficult.
Hell yeah.
Okay, but that guys, this is not a platform where we judge people, right? Because we love our kids.
Mm.
I'm just asking the question because, as I said, I knew I was going to be a mom. I knew I was going to be married. Like I love my kids to death, but sometimes I sit and I say to myself, they're so ungrateful.
Mm.
They're so demanding. They're users. We love them. We love them,
Yes,
of
we do.
course. Um, but there are days where you say to yourself, like, okay, so I've said I wanted this life, but I didn't really know what it entails.
Exactly.
And what it
Yes.
actually entails is being super selfless
Yes.
and living for your kids, which
Yeah.
is crazy. And I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, but that's
Well,
what I
I
want to
think it's
leave
a
us with.
good, I'm glad you asked it. And yes, people will judge, and that's fine. You're entitled to your own opinions. It doesn't really matter to me. But what I want to say is that there are days that I would tell you now, and I'm a honest person, I'm authentic. If I'm asked a question and I think about it, show knows even off camera, some days I'll tell her like, geez, I'm having a difficult day. And especially when you look at life once you have a child, then you realize maybe I should have done certain things differently. The kids are a blessing, and I know there are women out there that dream of having children, and we obviously take that into consideration. But us being parents, and then realizing that the expectation that I had of becoming a mom, all the bad days that I have was never included. And so when I have that, because I'm new to all of this, it then makes me feel like,
Certain way.
what?
Yes.
When did this happen? How do I handle it? And especially if you're so used to always having, growing up, and I always see my mom having it together and knowing how to handle things and doing things, you feel like, am I not parenting the right way? Am I not doing things, how do they do this? And they had more kids than what I have now. So just make that make sense to me. And so it's not a matter of judgment, but there are days where I feel that maybe I should have, you know, I don't know, today I don't feel like being a mom type of a day.
I hear you, but I want to elaborate on that. Let's just be honest. The grannies we had versus the grannies that are now. These grannies. Anyways, let's leave it there because I don't want to bore myself. But thank you so much for listening in. And if you came to the end of our conversation, we just want to give you a special thank you.
Thank
So
you.
much love, so much appreciation. Um, we hope that you will find value in the conversations we have.
Mm-hmm.
And as we grow and as we welcome people onto the platform and have open, unfiltered conversations about life, um, yeah, I
It will
think I'll leave it
definitely
at
be
that.
worthwhile. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you at the next show.
Bye.
Bye.